Welcome back to Thousand-Year Personalities. Today we're diving into the life of one of the most controversial and transformative figures in history, Napoleon Bonaparte. Known for his rise from humble beginnings to becoming the Emperor of France, Napoleon's story is one of ambition, military genius, and a vision that reshaped Europe. Love him or hate him, Napoleon's legacy is undeniable. So how did this young Corsican soldier go from exile to the pinnacle of European power? Let's step into the extraordinary life of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon was born on August 15, 1769, in Corsica, an island in the Mediterranean Sea that had just been acquired by France. His family, though noble, was not wealthy, and young Napoleon was often teased for his Corsican accent and his relatively modest background. His real name was Napoleon Bonaparte, but over time he would adopt the French version, Napoleon Bonaparte, after moving to France for his education. At the age of 9, he left his family behind and enrolled in military school on the mainland, where he studied at Brienne-le-Château and later at the prestigious École Militaire in Paris. Napoleon's time at military school wasn't easy. He was an outsider, often mocked for his Corsican heritage and his relatively humble origins. But he was determined. He excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and artillery, which would later be critical to his military strategies. By 16, he had graduated as a second lieutenant in the French artillery and thus began his military career. However, the French Revolution would soon change the political landscape of France and Napoleon's future.
In 1789, the French Revolution erupted, and the political chaos that followed opened up opportunities for ambitious individuals like Napoleon. The revolution had overthrown the monarchy, and France was now in the midst of a turbulent struggle between royalists and revolutionaries. Napoleon, ever the opportunist, aligned himself with the revolutionary cause, joining the French army during the revolution's more radical phase. In 1793, at the age of 24, he gained national recognition when he played a key role in the recapture of the port city of Toulon from royalist forces, a victory that marked his rise to prominence. Napoleon's true brilliance as a military leader began to emerge during the Italian campaign of 1796 to 1797. At the age of 26, he was appointed commander of the French army in Italy, and in a series of daring and decisive battles, he achieved stunning victories against the Austrians and their allies. Napoleon's tactics were innovative and bold. He relied on speed, surprise, and the ability to outmaneuver his enemies. His success in Italy made him a national hero in France and established him as one of the greatest military minds of his generation. By 1799, Napoleon had gained enough power and influence to seize control of France in a coup d'état. At just 30 years old, he overthrew the existing government, known as the Directory, and replaced it with the Consulate, making himself first consul. Though he promised to restore the Republic, it was clear that Napoleon had plans to consolidate power. In 1804, just 5 years after his rise to power, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France in a lavish ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. It was a symbolic moment that marked the beginning of Napoleon's imperial rule. As emperor, Napoleon sought to expand France's influence across Europe. His military campaigns, known as the Napoleonic Wars, would last from 1803 to 1815 and change the face of Europe forever. Napoleon's army was formidable, one of the most powerful in the world at the time. His genius as a strategist was unmatched, and he consistently outmaneuvered his enemies, achieving victory after victory. One of his most famous triumphs came in 1805 at the Battle of Austerlitz, where he decisively defeated a combined Russian and Austrian army. The battle is often regarded as one of the greatest victories in military history, and it cemented Napoleon's dominance over much of Europe. Napoleon's empire stretched from the Iberian Peninsula in the west to the borders of Russia in the east, and from Scandinavia in the north to Egypt in the south. He established satellite states and alliances, and he spread the ideals of the French Revolution: liberty, equality, fraternity, across the continent. However, as his empire expanded, so did his enemies. A coalition of European powers, including Britain, Russia, Austria, and Prussia, formed against him, leading to years of conflict and bloodshed. One of Napoleon's most ambitious and disastrous campaigns was his invasion of Russia in 1812. Napoleon, confident in his army's superiority, led his forces deep into Russian territory, hoping to force Tsar Alexander I to submit. However, the Russian winter and the scorched earth tactics employed by the Russians devastated Napoleon's army. By the time he retreated, he had lost nearly 400,000 men, marking one of the greatest military defeats in history. The failed Russian campaign would signal the beginning of Napoleon's downfall. In 1814, with his empire crumbling under the weight of military defeats, Napoleon was forced to abdicate and was exiled to the island of Elba, off the coast of Italy. But Napoleon was not finished. In 1815, he escaped from Elba and returned to France, where he regained control of the country in what is known as the 100 Days. However, his return was short-lived. In June 1815, he faced a decisive defeat at the Battle of Waterloo, where a coalition of British, Dutch, Belgian, and Prussian forces finally brought his reign to an end. Napoleon was once again forced to abdicate and was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean, where he would spend the last years of his life. Napoleon Bonaparte died on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51, likely from stomach cancer. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy lived on. Despite his exile and defeat, Napoleon is remembered as one of the greatest military commanders in history. His influence on European politics, law, and society is still felt today. His Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of laws, served as the foundation for legal systems in many countries around the world. He also modernized the French military, revolutionized warfare, and redefined the role of the state in a way that impacted generations to come. Napoleon's life is a story of ambition, power, triumph, and tragedy. His rise from a poor Corsican soldier to Emperor of France is a testament to his remarkable determination and military genius. But his downfall serves as a reminder of the dangers of overreach and the inevitable consequences of unchecked ambition. Napoleon's story continues to captivate the world, his name forever etched in the annals of history. And that's the life of Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's most complex and enduring figures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into his fascinating journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 1,000-Year Personalities. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with another legendary figure from the past.